You know, there are some cities and towns right here in Arizona that are just growing fast. Are you curious to know which one might be growing the fastest? Well, just the fact that you're watching this video tells me maybe you've already guessed, but here's the answer. Queen Creek, Arizona, fastest growing municipality in the state of Arizona. You know, my family moved here in 2015. We came from Gilbert, and at the time the population was about 32,000 people. Well, fast forward just 8 years, population in Queen Creek has doubled. According to the US Census Bureau, the population currently is pushing just over 70,000 people, which again makes Queen Creek the fastest growing municipality in the state. You know what else is pretty cool about Queen Creek? We have one of the highest household yearly incomes in the state, coming in at just short of $112,000 a year. Queen Creek is number 8 for median household incomes for the state of Arizona. And as one last factoid for you, most Queen Creek residents own their own home, and nearly half of all residents have at least a bachelor's degree. So what is it about Queen Creek that makes it so appealing to all of these newcomers? Well, according to Chris Clark, who's the president of the Queen Creek Chamber of Commerce, it's a combination of factors including our great geography, our low crime rate, attractive buildings, and good building standards. So what does all of that mean? Well, let's take a look at the geography. Queen Creek is located in the far southeast Phoenix Valley. We're 35 miles from downtown Phoenix. Sitting at the base of the Santan Mountains, we're bordered by Gilbert to the west and Mesa to the north, which really gives us easy access to all sorts of various employment corridors. Oh, and the crime rate? Well, Queen Creek's got a lower crime rate than most. According to neighborhoodscout.com, Queen Creek has a crime index of 47, which means we're safer than 47% of US cities. You have a 1 in 299 chance of being a victim of violent crime, but in Arizona overall, you have a 1 in 204 chance of being a victim. And when it comes to property crimes, you have a 1 in 137 chance of being victimized, compared to an Arizona overall chance of 1 in 41. And I could tell you those numbers would drop significantly if people would just close their garage doors and lock their cars up at night. Remember how the chamber president said we have attractive buildings and good building standards? Well, if you've seen this channel before, you know I do a ton of videos on new build construction communities. So we have new neighborhoods popping up all the time. And when it comes to these new neighborhoods, Queen Creek requires that the builders have several different elevations or fascias for each one of their floor plans. Now they do this so that all the houses don't end up all looking alike. Another thing that Queen Creek requires is that these neighborhoods use different materials and change up the looks of them, so you don't have these long runs of just block walls separating the neighborhoods from the streets. They want there to be some variety and some aesthetic pleasure to these community walls that border the communities. And I'm going to go ahead and add one more reason of my own. We have excellent parks and entertainment venues with more on the way, so there's always something to do here. Now, back to the Chamber of Commerce president for just a moment. He says another reason that Queen Creek is going so rapidly is because Chandler is already full and Gilbert is just on the brink of being full. So there's nowhere else for them to go, so they come to Queen Creek. You know, he's not necessarily wrong. You know, he's anticipating that the town will actually grow to about 130 to 150,000 residents by the time we reach full build out. And of course, with this population growth comes economic growth as well. You know, as the saying goes, retailers are following the rooftops. So we have a brand new Costco. Sprouts Farmers Market opened up earlier this week. Portillo's, they're opening at the end of the month. Ashley Furniture and a Lazy Boy store, well, they're on their way, and the list just keeps growing. And you know, it's not just the retailers either. Just last March, Korean battery maker LG Energy Solutions announced it was investing $5.5 billion with a B dollars in a battery plant in Queen Creek. It'll be the first of its kind in the US. Now, of course, there is a lot of debate among the residents as to whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but when you're looking at a $5.5 billion investment in our community, it's kind of hard to scoff at that one. All right, so now you know a little bit more about this town that I and my family call home, and there's so many others of you that do as well. You know, as an Arizona native, I've lived my entire life right here in the Southeast Valley, and I've watched this area grow from cotton and cornfields to this urban environment that it is today. And over the last several years, I've worked with almost all of the home builders here in the area, and I've built really good relationships with them. I say that because if you are considering a move to Queen Creek, Santan Valley, anywhere in the Southeast Valley, and you're especially thinking about new construction, but it doesn't have to be new construction, but if you are considering a move and you think that you and I could possibly make a good fit, then I invite you to call, text, or email me today. I'll put my contact information at the end of this video, which is coming up right now.